Hello, and welcome to the next episode of Getting Rich. Well, I had a few questions over the past week, and all of them were the same. What do you expect to happen in 2021 now that 2020 is finally behind us? The answer to that question is where I was going to go anyway if you watched this episode last week, and it starts with what happened last year. So let's do a quick recap. Dow Jones was up 7.1% in 2020. S&P 500 up 16.3%. NASDAQ up 43.6%. Bitcoin up 305.6%. Gold, silver, platinum, palladium in order. Gold up 25.2%. It had the best year in a decade for the yellow metal. Silver doubled gold's performance. Platinum up 11.1%, most of that in the last week or two of 2020. And palladium up 29.3% with the dollar falling below 90. Remember, 95 is bearish territory on the dollar index, and it's down below 90 with no signs of emerging or recovering. Now, at the beginning of last year, this time last year, basically I said that the market was ripe for gold and silver to move higher based on the weakening dollar, and we expected a confirmation of the trend downward. At this time last year, the dollar was still hovering just above 95, and we expected it to fall further. After 7% loss on the dollar index in 2019, it followed it up with another 7% loss in 2020. We expect that trend to continue. We expected gold and silver both to move up and the smart money to be in precious metals. But I also expected silver to outpace gold, and it nearly doubled gold's performance last year. So we basically had a 100% track record. And this year's forecast, in my opinion, is even easier. Okay. So we're looking now at a 27 trillion plus debt that the U.S. is faced with all the stimulus and spending, trying to revive the economy and bail people out after the government shut things down for the COVID-19 response. So we have a massive overhanging debt. We have a weak and weakening U.S. dollar. We have low interest rate environment where the real return is at or below zero. All of this sets up perfectly well for precious metals to surge yet again. I expect gold to turn in another strong performance in 2021. I expect silver to do what it did last year and continue to outpace gold. I also told you in the last couple episodes not to fall asleep on platinum and palladium. Palladium is pushing new highs every time it moves higher. I don't expect it to run strongly going forward, especially in an environment where economies are not yet back opened up. And I expect platinum to follow on the coattails and make some gains. It's now comfortably above $1,000, trading at about $11.15 an ounce. Now, I will caution you that the new year started out incredibly well for precious metals. We had very strong performance on Monday and Tuesday of this week, and early this morning, we're seeing a little bit of pullback, and that is to be expected. Those who have read our newsletter over the years have heard me say repeatedly, in a bull market, dips are not to be feared. They are to be embraced. So healthy markets don't just go up to the moon in a straight line. They correct along the way. There's profit taking and so forth. So this is a healthy move. These are the times in a bull market where you buy right, and as it surges higher, that's where you rebalance your for-profit precious metals holdings. Your wealth insurance, as you know, you never ever get rid of unless you have a financial crisis. But for profit, okay, that needs to be added to when the market dips. It needs to be sold from when the market soars. And you need to maintain that allocation. And that's how you buy well, sell well, take profits, and never care about the top of this market because you're taking profits all along the way. So As we go forward in 2021, you're going to hear more forecasts. In fact, tomorrow, when our newsletter comes out, we've got great guest articles from Adrian Day on the mining sector. We've got great commentary on the markets from Omar Ayelis, and we give you our forecasts as well for 2021. Be sure to read that tomorrow when it comes out. To do that, obviously, you must like us. You must subscribe to us to get this information, and we always want to hear your comments and your questions so we can address them each week on this show. I will remind you, on January 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we are going to do our first quarter On the Move webinar with myself, Chris Blasi of Neptune Global, and the Aiden sisters. Pam and Marianne Aiden will be our guests. You do not want to miss this show. Just like last week, you can register for this webinar right below this video. And as we look forward to 2021, I can tell you fear is creeping back in. As we speak, we have two very closely contested Senate races in Georgia, which may tip the scales in favor of the Democrats for the Senate, which means the Democrats would control the presidency, the House, and the Senate. The bottom line is I think a lot of people are going to be fearful about higher taxes and things of this nature if there's no buffer. So your best method to keep what's yours in 2021 is to buy precious metals, in my opinion. Don't ever forget that getting rich starts with keeping what's yours.